All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Tennessee Titans. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
That's it. Yeah, 180. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Great.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Newton. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
Newton now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Another try after the first down sack. Newton flushed out right. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And that is incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a fourth down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They will go for it. Now Newton. Flush to his right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. Allen, the intended receiver. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll give it here to Brown. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
20.
On 1st and 10, Newton. He's going to float this over the middle deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And picked up by the Chargers. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
On 2nd down now, it's Gordon. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. A gain of 2, just like we saw on 1st and 2nd down as well. Deuce is wild. They snap it to Newton. eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wentz to throw. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Charles, I don't know what's going on in that defensive team meeting room, but they better keep it rolling. 3 picks last week, 2 here now in the first quarter.
Everyone talks about creating turnovers and getting takeaways, but until it gets put into action, it's just talk. And right now, it's in action and in a big way. Now they've got the receivers wondering if they have to turn around and play more defense instead of running routes trying to take the ball downfield.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. On 2nd and 9, Newton finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
That's it. Great. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Now Gordon on first down. And an alley to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Great.
Here's Newton. Forced out to his left. And this one's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Gun. To throw again. Newton escaping the pressure right. Safarian Jenkins has it. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. 1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Here's Gordon. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Just like that. Mike's 50. Mike. 8. I'm coming. Mike.
Now Newton on 3rd and goal. Flushed out right. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Austin Safarian Jenkins. His 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point good by Hopkins. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
And he'll be out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Newton takes it himself. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Melvin Gordon with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. That 7-0 lead of theirs is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Go. Go. Mike, check. 59. 6-6. Pull it high. Get ready.
Working from the gun. Wentz. This is caught. It's Cooks. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. He will push his way down to about the 14. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, B. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
They'll try the right side this time here with Gordon. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
Here we go.
He'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. A toss play. Gordon. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they're back at the 7 now for third and goal.
Double dog, that's the way. Jim. 54's Mike. Check, watch 54. Check pass.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Ready. 54 Mike. Hey. Mike 54.
From the gun on third down, Newton. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Get ready.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's second and 20. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They're able to find Dorsett. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Now the Titans will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. He's got his man in the crossing route. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. So now the Titans are going to call upon their field goal unit here. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right down the middle. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Trey Flowers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. On play action, it's Wentz. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. He's got him in, complete. He's at the 30, the 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 86 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Throwing now is Wentz. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second and 7, Newton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They head to the line facing a third and 7 following the incompletion on second down. And some room to maneuver. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So following the run by Gordon, here's first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it second and 12.
At the 26-yard line.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He was already in some pretty rarefied air, and he just stepped into another zip code now because he passed Walter Payton for 2nd place all time on the NFL rushing list.
So it's not just the talent, right? It's not just having a couple really good years. It's the longevity and doing it at a consistently high level. Remember those workouts Walter Payton was famous for, running up the hill in Chicago and how guys would try it and they couldn't keep up? Well, we know someone who could keep up because he's doing it quite well right now. Just passed Walter Payton. Say it one more time.
Walter Payton, the only man ahead of him now, a couple thousand away from Emmitt Smith. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now again, right side. It's Grant. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Watch the great 57.
They'll run it here with Brown. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Great 15. Great 15. Check 59. Check the outs. Check Greystone travel. Check 59. Mike is
from the gun. It's Wentz. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 39. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Running right. It's a handoff to Gordon. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 50, Newton. Caught, Safarian Jenkins, right side. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. Here we go on 4th. Newton found his target. It's Anderson. Touchdown, L.A. Robbie Anderson His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. Officially an even 100 yards coast to coast on the kick return. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. No problem there on the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 36-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Newton. Open man is Robbie Anderson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Flush to his right. Open man, it's Allen. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with touchdown number 8 on the year. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And picked up by the Chargers. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Set, ready? Gun. 20. Watch safety creeping.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton eluding the pressure right. He's going to take a shot, and this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 35. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. They'll run on first down. Gordon. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz, and they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 1st down, Titans, gain of 12. So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And now here's another interception. Derwin James with a pick. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Newton. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett.
A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
20.
Newton on 3rd down. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing here, Newton. And he slings one that's incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Newton now to throw. Being chased out left. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Check 52.
They snap it to Newton. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a 1st. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a toss right side. It's Gordon. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They run it here with Gordon. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. On 4th down, Newton. And Allen's got it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Now Newton. Forced out to his left. He's going to let it go end zone. And, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will be out of bounds here with zeros on the clock as this ball game is over. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for our visitors, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Titans, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the